The first step to using the Cost Allocation Calculator, once you've gathered your data, including service data, financial data, and operational data for each service, is to enter this information into the calculator application of your choosing. Both are equally easy to use. In this video, I will be demonstrating entering service data into the Access application. To begin, first click on the Enter Service Data button on the Navigation menu tab. When using the application for the first time, the page will appear as shown here. The data will populate in the columns of the page as you enter and save them in the tab. To start, begin entering information about each route or service into the available blanks and drop-down boxes. Click the Save and Add New Service button to save the route or service and enter in the next route or service. The data list in the menu shows the routes or services currently saved in the application. Each of the following 6 attributes must be completed to add the route or service to the data list in the application: route or service name, mode, service area, type of service, sponsored type, and primary funding source. For route or service name, write in the name of the service. Note, if you would like to allocate costs for a route that operates in 2 different areas, such as service connecting a rural area and an urbanized area, input or enter the route name twice with an applicable description. An example would be Route 1 Rural and Route 1 Urban. This method should only be used if you have operational data available for each portion of the route. For mode, select the travel mode that best fits the service from the drop-down window. Available options include motor bus, commuter bus, bus rapid transit, trolley bus, demand response taxi, van pool, ferry boat, or volunteer driver program. For service area, select the jurisdiction or geographic area for the route or service. You can either select the default options for rural area and urbanized area, or add names of additional areas such as cities or counties. To add a new area, simply click on the View or Edit Service Areas button. This will open an additional tab to enter area names and descriptions, with new rows for service area entry becoming available as you enter information. For type of service, select the available options of directly operated or purchased transportation. This field should denote whether the service is operated by the agency or purchased from another public or private entity. For sponsored type, select the available options of general public service or sponsored. This field is required for sub-allocating costs to local sponsors later in Step 3, using data on sponsor names, passenger miles, and passenger hours, which will be entered. For primary funding source, select the funding source that is the primary source of funding or most represents the primary service area for the route or service. You can either select from the pre-filled options for 5307 urbanized, 5311 non-urbanized, and 5310 elderly and disabled, or you can add the names of other funding sources. To add a new funding source, click the View or Edit Funding Sources button window. This will open an additional tab to enter funding program titles, with new rows for service area entry becoming available as you enter information. You must also enter a unique number in the program code blank for each funding source or program name. All 6 fields for each route or service entered in Step 1 must be completed in order to proceed to entering financial data records in Step 2. If there are any records for a route or service that do not have all 6 fields completed, a pop-up message will appear when you click on the Save and Close Form button, reminding you to complete them. In the Access application, at any point you can edit or delete the data record for a given route or service by clicking on the left or right arrow buttons to navigate through each record, or clicking directly on the record in the data list. Data will save each time you click on one of the 3 Save button options. There is also a glossary button in the top banner that helps provide helpful definitions on terms used in Step 1. Once you are finished editing and want to return to the page, click the Save and Close Form button to return to the navigation menu.